We're looking at exterior angles of triangles today. Before we start, let's recap kind of with what we talked about yesterday and last week. Yesterday we reminded ourselves that the sum of all three angles in a triangle will always be 180 degrees. Or when we add the interior angles of the triangle, or inside angles of a triangle, the sum will always be 180 degrees. We also know that two supplementary angles, supplementary reminds us that we add to 180 degrees. If I have angles that are supplementary, their sum is 180 degrees. Let's remind ourselves that a 180 degree angle is just a straight line. I'm going to color code angle A red, angle B in blue, angle C in green, and I'll put angle D in pink. There is a triangle here, and angle A, angle B, and angle C are the interior angles of that triangle, which means I can add angle A plus angle B plus angle C, and their sum will be 180 degrees. I also see a pair of supplementary angles. Those are formed by C and D. The straight line, or the 180 degree angle, are formed by angles C and D. Those are supplementary. D is in pink, sorry. C I put in green. B I put in blue. A I put in red. Hopefully that's clear to see where all of my numbers are coming from then. This first equation we got from the interior angles of a triangle. The second equation we got by using what we know about supplementary angles. Let's see if we have a pattern or a relationship somehow between these two things. We know that 180 degrees is the same as 180 degrees. We also know from the triangles equation, the interior angles of a triangle, that A plus B plus C is 180 degrees in this example. We also know that from this example, from our supplementary angles, those were angles C and D, so C plus D equals 180. The first thing I notice is that both sides of my equation have a C. Let's look at what happens when we subtract C then from both sides of the equation. On the left side, A plus B plus C minus C. Plus C and minus C make 0. So all that remains is A plus B. On the right side, I have C plus D minus C. If I just rearranged the order I added, I could look at C minus C first. C minus C is 0. On the right side, you just have D. This means that the red angle, angle A, plus the blue angle, angle B, is the exact same as the pink angle, angle D. D is outside of the triangle, so we call that the exterior angle. Exterior meaning outside. The exterior angle of the triangle is equal to the sum, meaning we're adding them, of the two interior angles. The interior angles that we have to add, though, were the red one and the blue one. They were not the one that touched angle D. They were not supplementary with angle D. We're going to call those opposite. We'll call A and B opposite from the exterior angle. When we say opposite, we just mean it's opposite from the exterior angle. I will get better at that. Now you can see what I've written. Opposite from the exterior angle. We can use this to find things out about angles inside and outside of our triangle now. Looking at the top left example, my goal is to solve for x. I'm going to see that I have 2 inside angles and I have 1 outside angle. My 2 inside angles are opposite from that angle on the outside. These are opposite interior. They're opposite interior angles to the exterior, which we just learned means if I add these two, their sum is the exact same as this exterior angle. So if I were to take both pink angles and add them together, their sum is equal to or the same as that third green angle. X is one of the pink angles. X plus 9 is the other pink angle. The green angle is 121. So that's where I get this equation from. X plus 9 equals 121. Now I have an equation. The variable is x. I can solve this equation for x. We'll first combine all of our like terms. On the left side, my like terms are x and x. X plus x is 2 x's. And I still have a plus 9 on the left side. On the right side, we have just the one term, 121. My goal is to get x all by itself. Before I do that, I need to make sure x's are all on one side. All of my x's are on the left side of the equation. I don't have any x's on the right. That means all of my plane numbers, my constants, need to go over to the right. To move something to a whole nother side, we do the opposite thing. Opposite sides, opposite signs here. Okay, so instead of having a plus 9, we'll minus 9 from both sides. We do that because on the left side, positive 9 and minus 9 make 0, and we'll be left with just 2x. On the right side, 121 minus 9 leaves us with 112. X is still not completely by itself. There's this coefficient here. 2 and x are being multiplied together. To undo the multiplication, we divide by 2 because we multiplied by 2. That leaves us with 1x on the right side. I'm going to move my math up here so you guys can still see. That leaves us with 1x on the left side, and 112 divided by 2 is 56 for the right side. My goal was to solve for x, and I'm finished with that. X is 56. Think about what that would mean for these two angles. Now we'll look at the bottom right example in our notes. The first thing we want to do is solve for n. The second thing we want to do is find the measures of the two interior angles. I am going to use 2 different colors for the interior angles since we do want to solve for both of them. I'll say that 2n plus 8 is the interior angle because it's inside of the triangle. That I'll color pink. I'll say 3n minus 20 will be the green interior angle, and my exterior angle will be 4n plus 3. We know that the sum of the two opposite inside angles, opposite interior angles, is equal to the exterior angle. So if I took the pink angle and added it to the green angle, their sum, because we're adding, is equal to the blue angle, the exterior angle. The two opposite interior angles added together is equal to the exterior angle. The pink angle is 2n plus 8. The green angle is 3n minus 20. The blue angle is 4n plus 3. And this leaves me with the equation 2n plus 8 plus 3n minus 20 equals 4n plus 3. First we want to solve for n. After I solve for n, we can go back and find the measures of the pink and green angles. Before we solve for n, we need to combine all like terms that are possible to combine. On the left side, we have 2n. That will not combine with a plus 8. 2n can be combined with 3n. They're like terms. And then neither of those are like terms with minus 20, so we can't combine it with that. 2n plus 3n then gives us a total of 5n. Just add their coefficients. We're left with a plus 8 and a minus 20, which happen to be like terms. Plus 8 minus 20 is minus 12. On the right side, the terms 4n and plus 3 cannot be combined, so we're left with just 4n plus 3. I have a multi-step equation. This is like what we learned at the start of the year. I have variables n on both sides of the equation. I want to get n's on one side of the equation. The pro tip was to move the smaller amount of variables. We have a positive 5n, a positive 4n. The smaller amount of variables then is the positive 4n. To move them, we'll subtract. If I do an opposite sign, I have to do that same thing on the opposite side. So I'll subtract 4n from here, from the left side, sorry. That leaves us with 5n minus 12 minus 4n. If I rearranged the way I combined these terms, 5n and 4n could be combined. 5n minus 4n leaves us with a positive 1n minus 12. 4n and minus 4n makes 0. That's why it was helpful for us to move that to the other side. And this leaves us with a positive 3. Now n is on one side of the equation, which means all of my constants or plain numbers need to be on the other side of the equation. So I should move the minus 12. To undo a minus 12, we will plus 12. So I'll plus 12 to the other side as well, on the right. N minus 12 plus 12. The minus 12 and plus 12 make 0, so we're left with just n. 3 plus 12 on the right gives us 15. And we know that n is equal to 15. I'm going to say n equals 15. Okay. The second thing we were asked to do is find the measures of the two interior angles. Let's look at the pink angle first. The pink angle had a measure of 2n plus 8. 2n plus 8. Now we know the value of n, though. Instead of writing n, I can replace it with 15. So instead of 2 times n plus 8, I'll have 2 times 15 plus 8. 2 times 15 is 30. 30 plus 8 is 38. So the value of the pink angle is 38 degrees. The other interior angle is 3n minus 20. Or has a value of 3n minus 20. 3n minus 20. Again, I just need to know the value of n in order to solve for the angles measure. The value of n is 15. So instead of writing 3 times n, I can write 3 times 15 and then minus 20. 3 times 15 is 45. 45 minus 20 leaves us with 25. So the green angle has a measure of 25 degrees. Think about if we could find the value of the exterior angle for n plus 3.